Originally, we thought we would not be here to broadcast, but due to the gracious nature of Lancaster Christian Academy Athletics, we're in the press box and ready for an incredible matchup between the Lancaster Christian Academy Knights engaging in a jousting match with one of the three teams total in the TSIAA that are considered the Knights. Sacred Heart of Jesus High School Knights and the Lancaster Christian Academy Knights collide together in this week's Part 2 of the Kingdom.com Extreme Game of the Week. And welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Spencer Thompson. A pleasure to have you with us. This is that, of course, my broadcast partner has been looking forward to for a long time, but it's one that a lot of people have been looking forward to for a long time. Deuce Bragg, now a sophomore for Lancaster Christian Academy, and the question is, how good has he gotten in the offseason, and how much better are the pieces going to be around him, especially with only 2 seniors graduating? The question becomes, how is Lancaster going to do? Meanwhile, for Sacred Heart, this is their second game back, a tough loss on a blowout 40-0 on the road against Christian Community last week. In 2019, they were not able to field a team due to not enough players coming out to their practices. Coach Blankenship, from the talks we had with him pregame, it's the injuries that have bogged him down, but they're looking forward to an incredible jousting match tonight. As I bring in my broadcast partner, Zachary Lone. And Zachary, you have not kept that grin off your face. Even with the mask on, you have not kept that grin off of your face this entire night. And the reason is because of what Deuce Bragg is about to bring on the table and from what you've been seeing from him in practice.
Oh, definitely. And also the matchup you have tonight, Kill versus Bragg. Oh, my goodness. This is what you live for, 2 great quarterbacks. But Bragg, man, just on tape, looks incredible. He's got incredible mechanics, just the way he moves, the way he throws, the way his throw mechanics are. I don't know how you aren't excited for a game like this.
And Will Keel, of course, the Extreme Player of the Week. He's getting his Chick-fil-A cards after the game. But Sacred Heart, 40-0 blowout. We talked to Coach pregame, and there are little mistakes they could correct, but injury has really brought them down. They've got a few guys sitting on the bench. How are those injuries going to impact them on the road 2.5 hours away from Jackson?
Oh, well, injuries always affect you, especially when they're your starters, and especially in the second game of the year when you're trying to get your older guys and then maybe your newer guys just a little bit more experience. Because like we said, all summer there was no summer camps, no what you usually have, and that's leading. And we've seen a couple of injuries that usually wouldn't happen, but that's no one's fault. It's no fault of their own. But if you're Sacred Heart, you come in tonight and you're like, we're good, here we go, we're gonna bounce back. Let's see how we do in the first 3 minutes. Let's see if we can hold Deuce to under maybe 150, 200 yards. And you set that number right there. And then if you keep them within those two, then you're happy no matter how the game ends.
We got a beauty for you tonight. Nobody else is active in 8-man football. It's the Knights of the Knights of Riverside watching from Fayetteville as they see their fellow Knights of Sacred Heart and Lancaster clash. Kingdom.com Extreme Game of the Week next.
Blankenship, whose father is currently in the hospital. We pray now for a full and complete healing on his behalf. Please bow with me. Most kind and gracious Heavenly Father, Lord, we come to you on this Saturday evening, thanking you and praising you for this time of togetherness and celebration during the great game of football. And dear Lord, we ask you to please be with each team represented here, their families, their coaches, and their fans. Please help everyone to stay safe and let all of us enjoy this time together. Please heal all those that are sick, as we know, Lord, you are our great physician. Lord, we love you, we praise you, we thank you, and we give you the honor. And it's in your name we pray, and amen. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, their bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. No, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Play ball.
Come on in and dap it up real quick. Let's have a good, clean game tonight. Play with a lot of sportsmanship, okay? I have heads and tails.
All right. Lancaster Christian has been waiting for this debut for a long time. And all the hype in the offseason, it is now time for the Knights to collide. First home game, first game of the season for Lancaster Christian.
I'm still pumped for this one, Spencer.
Again, you have not had a smirk off of your face ever since we've been here.
Not often you get to see a quarterback like Deuce Bragg and a player like Kill.
Head coach Jason Bragg, offensive coordinator we got Sean Bell, defensive coordinator James Jansen, nutrition specialist and assistant coach Justin Brashear.
Well, the good news for those of you viewing in, we've got a new lapel. We've got our backup lapel system on the referee tonight. Derek Brookshire is referee, and hopefully the mic system will be working tonight. Otherwise, we definitely have to get a new one. We need a new one in the future, but we'll see how this one goes.
Give a big thank you and welcome to 8manextreme.com, as this, the Lancaster Christian Knights, we're playing Sacred Heart, is the 8-Man Extreme game of the week. It is Live right now.
So we got a shout out too.
Special thanks to the
Here we go.
Special thanks to the PA announcer in stadium for giving us a shout out as we're about to play football. And in a primetime setting, everyone's going to be looking in at Lancaster. And what's set to, everyone wants to know what Lancaster has and what their weapons are. What better way to find out than in primetime on a Saturday night?
Oh, it's definitely. And is it a 10-minute quarters?
They have the scoreboard set at 10 minutes, even though it should be 12, as the Knights get a return here, and we'll get Knights deferred to the second half, and they will receive it, and we'll see Deuce Bragg for the first time as I just realized our tablet isn't up here with the rosters. That was the one thing we forgot to grab, but hey, it's all a work in progress. We'll get it taken care of. I got a roster here for Lancaster Christian. Hey, we're bound to forget at least one or two things throughout the span of the game. And time called.
It's time called. I think we are having a clock fix.
Fixing it to 11:25.
So here we go.
First offensive play of the game for Deuce Bragg and company. Bragg airs it out to start off, incomplete across the middle.
That was just a little high there by Deuce. But coming out the first play of the game, of course you're going to take a shot when you have Deuce, right? But what good defensive coverage there by Sacred Heart, because that was almost intercepted at the back end right there.
So now a second down. You have to bear with us as we don't have the rosters. We have the rosters in front of us, but not on our tablet. It's from last year as Bragg hands it off. Rush up the middle. Looks like Jordan Horde.
There's a fumble at the end, but
a fumble at the end. And
rolled down. He was rolled down.
Rolled down by contact for third down.
And if you're Sacred Heart, you're loving this right now. Your defense has been up to the task so far. 2 plays, 3 yards. Exactly what you're looking for starting off this game.
He gained 3 yards on the play.
So now a third down and 7. Bragg. Flag in the backfield. Bragg to the left side, incomplete, and we'll get Derek Brookshire's first penalty announcement of the game.
And it looks like it was a little holding on this back end. I wouldn't be surprised if they decline it. We're going to go 4th and about 8. Mike
module not working for us tonight, unfortunately. Thought the backup would work there, but well, now it's receiving.
Oh, it received a little right there.
Always move it a little bit to the right, and then it'll start receiving.
Oh.
Those catching up a little bit on our system. It's just the range on that thing is why we upgraded systems. 4th down. So no punt. Bragg airs it out left side, and what an incredible catch!
That's what we were looking for coming in. Let's watch this replay real quick.
Devin Hargrove on the reception.
Now, here comes Deuce right here. Now watch this route. Run to the bottom. I think it's the bottom of your screen, if I'm not mistaken. As they're running curry up, we won't be able to see it. Right there.
As it goes to the left, and how about Jordan Horde to get to the end zone? Touchdown! Past every man and into the center. Lancaster's first score is from their senior, Jordan Horde.
They went, Sacred Heart stopped them from 3 straight plays, and then Lancaster had that big play, and then Sacred Heart back up in the coverage there, as I don't think we're going to get that replay, as I think wait just a little bit too long there. But draws back into coverage, expected another pass from Deuce. Draw up the middle, and he was off to the races.
Will go for 2.
So 2-point conversion attempt. There's Horde again.
Horde up the middle.
Easy walking. Already 8-0 Lancaster scores first in the Kingdom.com Extreme Game of the Week. Lancaster Christian scoring first within the first few minutes.
So here we go. What will Sacred Heart have here? Will they be able to respond? They weren't, because I guarantee you I was preaching all week. How are we going to respond if we get punched in the mouth first?
That's the question for Sacred Heart, and it's a little squib kick there. Goes the distance and recovered there by Sacred Heart. So for the first time in primetime, we'll see what the Sacred Heart Knights are capable of. And on paper, a 40-0 loss, but the injuries are really what caught the Sacred Heart Knights on the road.
Yeah, and it was their big guys that got injured. It wasn't like it was when you're 40-0, you think of injuries. You think of maybe back end guys, maybe guys that haven't really been able to play, just a little bit not out of game shape, kind of. But they were main guys that got injured, and that's what caused that 40-0 blowout, and it allowed that score to get away from them right there in the second half.
Now first offensive drive for Sacred Heart. Handoff up the middle, and that Lancaster defense immediately stops the carry.
And Lancaster came out here, and they came out with a little bit of momentum. They've been ready for this one, as you said. They were ready from the get-go, and they've punched Sacred Heart in the mouth a couple of times already. As that's a loss of about 4. We're gonna have 2nd and 14 coming up for Sacred Heart.
Again, the amount of senior leadership for Lancaster Christian is incredible, with only graduating 2 seniors last year. A force to be reckoned with throughout the conference. Deep toss, right side, and incomplete.
That's going to be a holding. That's going to be holding. That won't be pass interference because that was over his head. It's going to be a holding call. It will be a holding call. It won't be pass interference because that ball was, I think it was going to be ruled in uncatchable. And here we go. We're going to see if we can get this call real quick.
Again, it's just the module having issues. Getting it slightly.
First down.
So that is the pass interference call. So that ball was ruled catchable. And that was close to receiver. That was really close to receiver. I figured it was going to be holding because of the jersey tug, but the referee ruled where he wasn't able to come back to the ball.
The defense chant here for the Lancaster fans, and flags fly.
False start. 34 offense.
There it is.
Got something going. That's the important thing.
We got a little bit of a call there. As there was just a little bit of movement. If you're Sacred Heart, you don't want that there. You get a big play, get a big break right there. You want to be able to move forward here and keep that momentum going.
The momentum is key, especially although this game doesn't impact any playoff seedings, the motivational factor, as many players know around the league, is crucial. First and 15 with the false start. Scramble by Keel. He's got pressure, but he's going to the right side. Steps out of bounds for a gain of a yard or 2.
And it may not have playoff implications, but both teams really want to win this. Lancaster, this is your first game of the year. You want to come out strong and show your home crowd what you have this year. And if you're Sacred Heart, you want to show, hey, last week was a fluke. We just weren't able to get anything going, had the injuries. This is a big game for both teams. And Sacred Heart has something on here with Keel.
There's a reason why Keel was voted the extreme player of the week this previous week. He's going to get his Chick-fil-A card tonight for sure. 2nd down and 9. Keel with the handoff again. That Lancaster defense just reading right through him.
Now watch this left in here. Maybe right in. My bad. From my angle, it was left in. Let's see if we can get the replay up. Right here. Watch him time the snap. And here he comes, runs up to the line of scrimmage right here. Times it to perfection. Low snap. and right off the edge right there to disrupt the play.
And now Lancaster's defenses forced them to go to a 3rd and long.
Albert, be ready!
Of course, Kiel has the arm. Question is, will his receivers get open for him? Flags fly again.
Sideline warning on Lancaster Christian.
So is a sideline warning right there.
Yep. Now on a 3rd and 13. Kiel lose the ball and tossed up. They'll
It's going to be ruled incomplete right there.
Incomplete pass. Play broken up by
Incomplete, and we'll see if Sacred Heart is going to send out the punt team.
Oh, you almost have to here. Unless you're trying to get momentum. But
That'll bring up 3rd
a
and long.
great defensive stop right there by the great defensive play there to get in the backfield and was there right before Kiel threw it, and Kiel got it. It was about to throw it. It was a quick play call. It wasn't a little play that took long to develop. It was a little screen or a little slant right down the middle that they were looking for.
It's now 4th down and 13. And another penalty.
May have been offsides there on the right side. Neutral zone infraction.
Play offsides. Lancaster.
It's called again.
But right there, if you're Sacred Heart, you want that play to go through. You were hoping that they weren't going to blow that one dead because they had that fake punt on, and they were going to try and you could take a shot there because the play doesn't count necessarily if it's dropped.
So lucky break for Sacred Heart, but they've still got a 4th and 6. Kiel will punt it away. As
That's a great punt. That's going to
Kiel punted it all the way down to about the 12-yard line. And we'll see Lancaster's offense come back on, a 4th and out for Sacred Heart.
Number 3, Jake Kyle with a punt.
what a great punt there by Kiel to pin him deep. And here we go. What does Sacred Heart's defense have for Lancaster?
Over at the 7-yard line.
Because they were able, the first 3 plays of the game, they were able to stop him for a very minimum gain. And then on that 4th down, just a little bit of a throw out by a great throw and catch. And then the next play, a big run up the middle. And here we go. Let's see what Deuce has on the second drive.
Deuce Bragg's second offensive drive of the season. They start within the opponent's red zone. Bragg, he's got time. Right side, overthrew his man, incomplete.
And he was open there, and just a little bit overthrown. And they were looking for that little big play, big shot play right after that defensive stop. They just weren't able to get it. But they're still been able to move the ball.
It was intended for Reese Close. And now a 2nd down and 10. And it's run again by Horde, managing to avoid his man. A long time to blow the whistle and finally bring him down in the backfield for a loss of about 2 or 3 yards.
I think they were waiting because he was still moving, so he's still getting a little bit of forward momentum. So they didn't want to blow him dead in case he was to break it out. But great job there by Sacred. Keep fighting until they hear the whistle blow.
It's now on a 3rd down.
It's gonna be interesting to see if they try and get something quick or if they try to go deep.
Bragg back in his own end zone is under pressure. Manages to get back there. Deep toss to the right side. What a catch! To make something of nothing. Down the sideline. Touchdown for Lancaster Christian.
What a throw on the run there. That's what we were looking for. Whoa, what a throw there by Deuce. Let's see if we can see this again. Here he goes. Great defensive pressure, rolls to his right, beats the defensive end. On the run, 46 yards. And then he's just gone. 92-yard touchdown. And from the looks of it, that's already about 150 yards.
The pass connection to Devon Hargrove, incredible. And Deuce Bragg has got his second touchdown of the game.
And that's going to be 14-0. See,
14-0 for now, potential for 16-0.
Sideline warning is going to be giving against Lancaster, and that will probably be enforced on the kickoff after this play. On the mechanics, Deuce Bragg being able to extend plays, being able to, I'll keep talking after this play.
And another rush for Horde on the right side. That Sacred Heart defense, they roll it good. He's in.
That's what we were talking about before the game. Bragg's ability to get to the outside, and then his throwing mechanics were great right there. Was able to turn his body. Let's see if we can see this one more time. And it's keep an eye on Deuce. Wait. Here it is. Watch right here. Watch how he turns his shoulders, gets his shoulders into it. Right there. And then running free, and there he goes. What a great throw. What a great pass right there as we have a 2-touchdown game. But as we saw last night, 2 touchdowns isn't the end of the world.
It could certainly be worse, because we saw that from last night with FCA being down by 18. They managed to make the comeback.
And when you have a player like Keel, the game's never over. It's never over until maybe you're down 24, 30 points. But this early in the game, 16 points is still doable. You want to go out there, you want to get a quick. You don't even have to get a quick score. Just move the ball, get your offense into rhythm. As I don't think we have the grades for Sacred Heart.
I think we have a few of them we can piece together.
Oh, yeah, so we have the 2018 rosters.
We'll get them updated in a little bit. Trying to get all this done prior to. Note to self: always get the rosters done before the game instead of during.
So it looks like they have a fair amount of upperclassmen from what it's looking like.
Yep.
As here it comes from the kick because of the sideline warning. I think, is that a 10-yard penalty? I think that was a 10-yard penalty.
There's a kickoff there and received. That's going to be 77, Austin Vall. Austin Vall gets it to out the 45-yard line.
And big return there by Sacred Heart. Now you have field position. And now what does Will Kill have in his repertoire for this second drive? They're going to be looking for him for his veteran leadership.
Veteran leadership is always key, and that's why you see with Christian community why they've been able to be so successful. And one of the cases, and with Lancaster Christian right now, it's just their first season, but their success already underway.
And that's why, and when you're looking at Tennessee Heat, that's why they're so good right now. They have great talent, but they have veteran leadership, and as you saw the two last week, and then the first game they were at CCS, they are never out of a game because they keep fighting.
And we'll see what their second offensive drive of the game brings them. On the 44, Keel, quick toss left side, incomplete, pass intended for Gaines.
And that the timing was just a little off there. But that was a good call, trying to get kill going a little. Never mind, I don't think that was kill. That's my bad. Jake kill. Yes, I am right.
So now 2nd down. Quick toss, incomplete. Pass intended for Will Mingledorf.
So it was just a little high there, and a little bit to the outside. Here we go. We have 3rd down, and we have a long 10. And if you're Sacred Heart, you really need to get this 1st down here. I think I just realized I've been calling Will by Jake.
Yeah, that was from a few years ago in 2018 when Will Keel was a junior with Sacred Heart. Now graduated at this point.
My bad, Jake.
3rd down. Keel, catch is made by Mingledorf. Can only get maybe a gain of 4 or 5 yards.
Here we go. We're gonna have a 4th and about 6. What will Sacred Heart do there? Will they try what do here? Will they try and pin him deep like they did last time, or will they go for it? Almost feels like you have to go for it here. Try and get a little momentum going your way.
And now on a 4th down, Sacred Heart opts to go for it. And they'll punt it away. And another great punt. Another great example of just pinning it deep and nobody back there to receive for Lancaster. They just try the pressure, and that'll be stopped at the 14-yard line. Well, already Lancaster's defense is speaking for itself. No touchdowns in 2 drives, and Lancaster offense is speaking for itself. Both 2-point conversions and both touchdowns.
Well, also, if you're Sacred Heart, you're not very upset. Yes, you've given up 2 touchdowns, but you stopped them a lot. Like you forced long 3rd downs, or your long 4th down. It's just those big plays have been killing you at the moment. You got to find a way to maybe get as we'll talk about after this play.
Bragg, again, with plenty of time in the pocket, tosses it low. It's intended for his man on the side, and looks like we got a timeout called by Lancaster Christian. And that'll be the first timeout of the half.
But so what I'm trying to say was my bad. Sacred Heart has been giving up long plays. The touchdowns haven't been methodical drives driving down the field. They've been long bomb by Deuce, a long run right up the middle, right after that long 4th down conversion. So if you can keep those to a minimum instead of allowing Bragg to get to the outside or allowing a run right up the middle for a touchdown, if you can keep those to about 5-6 yards, or on that long touchdown, that last drive, the 91-yard, if you can tackle him as soon as he catches it, then get back to the line and say, hey, you got a 40-yard pass. Good throw, but we kept you to where we feel confident enough to stop you on 4 downs.
Confidence key. Spencer Tomset, Zachary Lone, Jack Hellwig off tonight as we bring you the action here from Lancaster Christian Academy. At least their home field at Smyrna Middle in Smyrna, Tennessee.
As here we go.
Almost got the rosters finished, and then you'll get my full focus. 2nd down and 10. Bragg again in the shotgun. That offensive line is the reason he has so much time to make attempted plays like that and incomplete.
That ball was just a little overthrown there by Bragg, but you like that if you're Lancaster right there. If that ball was just a little bit out of the reach of the intended receiver there, just a little bit too far, the receiver there beat his man and was open, wide open, had a touchdown. And you'll live with that. I think Bragg didn't account for the little hold up right there at the line of scrimmage that the defender pressing caused.
Now on third down, Bragg. He's got another one aired out, overthrew his man again.
Just a couple of plays there where the receiver was open, he's just a little bit overthrown. So now, if you're Lancaster, you had 2 open receivers right there. Do you go for it?
I mean, with Bragg, it's possible for them to go for it, but so deep in their territory, they got to weigh out their options.
Looks like they are going to go ahead and punt it away.
Now on a fourth down, it looks like we'll just see a punt away for Lancaster's offense. The first time they've been forced to a 4th and 9. And great punt. There it rolls. That's going to go all the way to the 43-yard line. And we'll see Sacred Heart on their, I believe their 3rd drive of the night.
As now if you're Sacred Heart, that's what I was talking about. You have confidence in your defense because you have been able to stop them more times than you have it. It's not like they're methodically driving the ball down the field. They're making the big plays right now. And if once you take those away, all of a sudden you're forcing Deuce to try and force just a little, as you saw in those 2 plays. The receiver was open, but he was trying to force it just a little bit too far down the field. But if you're Sacred Heart, you're feeling good right now. You're like, oh well, we just stopped Deuce. We can do it. Let's see what we can do on offense now.
Rosters are done now. Glad that we have the capability to be able to work on this close. We only have the grade of one of the players for Sacred Heart, but get those as the season progresses. So now a 1st and 10. Scramble by Keel. Toss to the right. The catch is made by Justin Gaines. Gets brought down at the line of scrimmage. Great tackle by Jordan Horde to prevent the catch and gain.
And here we go. This is a screen pass here by Sacred Heart. But now watch the defense of, was that Gaines? Who was that again? I wasn't able to catch the number. Justin Gaines. Justin Gaines with the catch. Now watch the discipline here by the Lancaster defender. So recognizes it's a screen and gets to Gaines before he's able to cut it and make a big play out of that.
So now make it a 2nd down and 13 for Sacred Heart to face. Again, they've started out with great field advantage on the majority of their drives. They just haven't been able to capitalize. It's Keel under pressure again. The catch made, but immediately met. Grant Dillon got the catch, and Lancaster Christian's Albert Clark, the freshman, with getting the tackle.
And yes, that's if you're Lancaster right there, that's what you want. You're okay with getting with those 4-yard play right there, because it's still 3rd and 10. But the difference is right now Lancaster, when they make the play, when Sacred Heart makes a play, Lancaster's right on top of them. They're not allowing Sacred Heart to make a lot out of a little. If you understand, if that makes sense. They're there as soon as the catch is made. They're there as soon as the first cut's made. Lancaster's defense is flying to the ball right now, and they have all the momentum because of it. Because the momentum from your defense carries to your offense.
So now a 3rd and 10. Keel again, that defensive line pressuring him, incomplete. Pass intended for Warlick. And it looks like we may probably going to see another punt for Sacred Heart, but that's a credit to this Lancaster defense for pressuring right through the offensive line.
I think we're going to see this on this replay right here.
Block party!
Yes, we are. Okay, now watch watch Jamison Warlick right there. He's not ready for this pass. Keel has to get out quick because of the pressure, and that's what the pressure calls. calls for. And that looks like that was a little bit behind him.
And another punt away. Bounce all the way to about the 32-yard line. And Sacred Heart on offense again. They're 2 for 3 so far on scoring on their offensive drives. And the next question is, what will Deuce Bragg do?
I think they're going to be talking about they're talking about Deuce Bragg's shoulders the past couple of drives. As I mentioned on that long touchdown, he was able to get his shoulders through and be able to and point his shoulders to the correct direction. But the past 3 plays, especially on those long ones, his shoulders just looked a little off, which caused for a little bit of an overthrow.
Still in the first quarter, mind you, only 53 seconds left in it, though. Bragg pitch to the backfield to Horde. Going to get to the outside. Horde gets down at about the 40-yard line for a 3rd down and 3.
Second.
Second down, yep.
Sorry. About as you're looking at Sacred Heart, they're gassed. As you've noticed, they have a short bench. And what Lancaster has an advantage is they're able to run guys out there left and right because of how deep they are.
Muff snap, and Bragg just kneels it down in the backfield with a loss of about 5 yards.
And we've seen this a lot the past couple of games.
First games of the season, so it's expected.
As this will probably take us to the second quarter.
And we're going to switch sides of the field. Lancaster came to play in their first game of the season at home. The fans excited about that. 16-0, the Knights leading so far. The Kingdom.com Extreme Game of the Week is sponsored by Grace Point Healthcare, modern medicine the old-fashioned way. Grow, Live, Give, helping you fit all the pieces together in your financial puzzle. Tennessee Heat Athletics, visit TennesseeHeatSports.com. And by Jets Pizza, Fort Campbell, Clarksville, Goodlettsville, and Springfield. Let's get Jets. Spencer Thompson, Zachary Lone, broadcasting here from Smyrna Middle School for the Kingdom.com Extreme Game of the Week, as Bragg, again, has so much time in the backfield to get the play that he wants, and it's dropped there by Hargrove. And there are flags down.
I did not catch what happened there because I was looking down the field. But that looked like that was just a little bit behind him, or as they're talking about that. Let's see if we can catch the back end of that play.
We'll see if we get the call from Brookshire. He's discussing it with his official.
And we did not get the back end of that. I really don't have any clue. It could be maybe roughing the passer, or
yeah, roughing the passer.
that's on the offense. Person on the offense.
Personal foul on the offense, and again, this is why it's our backup lapel microphone. It's not really working for us. Coach meets with Brookshire just to talk it over.
And that means that that is a loss of down, and that's 4th down. So you have a 4th and 30 situation. So I don't think they'll be going for it from here. But there you go again. Sacred Heart's defense has stood up to the task so far and been able to stop the past 2 drives. Not the first 2. First 2, Lancaster was out and they were ready to go. And the past 2 drives, they've been out and they come out to say and keeping Deuce in check. Like I said earlier, the goal is getting between 150 200 yards the whole game. Well, they aren't gonna be able to that because of the first 2 drives. But still, they still have a chance to keep them within.
And just a punt away. And bounces past the 50. Again, great field advantage for Sacred Heart to start out with on the 46.
And now if you're Sacred Heart, you really want to score. You really want to try and get the momentum in your favor because your defense has stood up to the task. And if you remember last night, what was big in the first half for Franklin Christian was their defense. Their defense stood up multiple times. Their offense couldn't get it going and kept them in this game. If Lancaster isn't able to score about 24, 30 points in the first half and Sacred Heart finds their offensive leg, it's going to be interesting to see how this game unfolds because Sacred Heart's defense has been up to the task so far.
This Lancaster defense impressive enough already.
Concession stand, box meals, only $6. Get a cheeseburger, sandwich, hot dog, or sub, includes chips and a drink.
So now on a 1st and 10, let's see if Keel can get it done. Jake, toss to the left, intercepted. The freshman, Albert Clark, takes it to the house. Almost.
Wait,
tries taking it to the house.
Kill stole it from him. Oh, he called him down.
It's rolled down
he called
outside.
him down.
Difficult to see with the footing on that, but an impressive play by the freshman to get the pick and almost a pick 6.
Here we go. Let's see what happens here. Intercepted. Now let's watch the end of the play.
You'll probably not.
We're not
Yeah.
able to see it. But
you'll catch a
right
little
here,
bit at the end.
right here.
Does he step out?
He did not step out, but the referee called forward progress and called him down. But there's a block in the back, so this is coming back.
Block in the back on Lancaster Christian.
So they do bring it back with that penalty. But Lancaster still keeps the ball because the interception counts. Just brings him a little bit back, but what's another 15 yards for Deuce Bragg?
Exactly.
That's actually a benefit, but of course a benefit for Sacred Heart because they have a chance to get a defense here. They stopped them on their last drive.
And they've stopped them the past 2 drives because they've kept the long plays to a minimum.
Flag on the sideline as Horde has been to block, so free play essentially, and down to the 15-yard line.
And the referee is staying towards line of scrimmage. Oh, that's on the offense. This play is coming back.
See if we can get the call.
False start, offense.
Again, just not
So we
able
have
to
a
get
legal motion right there.
Looks a legal motion or false start, one of the two. Usually a false start is a dead penalty.
Yes. So
Repeat first down.
that 10-yard penalty is the 10-yard gain is negated by that 5-yard penalty. And now if you're Sacred Heart, you're excited about that because that was another big play by Lancaster, but that was coming back. So you're still able to go ahead and get your bearings back.
Bragg, quick toss to Horde. Horde cuts back. Jordan Horde turn it on the Jets, but finally stopped.
Oh, what a play there. Let's see if we can get that to the end.
He's brought down by number 77. Austin
Now watch Horde right here. Waits for his block. Wait. And see, here comes the play.
yards on the play.
Right here. Bragg does a little lateral. Horde waits for his blockers. Sees that his whole left side is open. And what a open field tackle there by Austin Ball. Saved a touchdown easily. Easily saved a touchdown there. And now you still have a second and long. That's how big that play is.
It's now on a 2nd and 12. Bragg with a deep toss to the left side.
Oh.
Just through the hands, incomplete.
Here, let's see. Just a little bit overthrown again. And that is what you're going to see in the first game. You're going to see a little bit of mistimed throws. But if you're Bragg, if you're Coach Bragg, and you're excited about what you're seeing, because watch his receivers. His receivers are able to get past these Sacred Heart cornerbacks almost every play. It's just a little bit overthrown here and there.
Third down. Bragg, deep toss again. Incomplete, intended for Horde.
And that's another case of a miscommunication there that's going to happen on your first week. Horde red going to the inside was open, but as we have is that another timeout?
Yep.
As we have another timeout by
Lancaster.
But Bragg red, the whole left side of the field was open towards the pylon, and you're going to have that a lot in your first couple of weeks, trying to get the timing back down with your receivers, especially like we've mentioned multiple times throughout the first few games, without having had that summer and that spring and summer practices, being able to go out and get that timing down. That's what that's for. Your summer and spring practices are there to get your timing down with your receivers, get your conditioning in, and then what your fall practices are supposed to be is getting great, just game planning. And they weren't able to do that. None of these teams were able to do that, really. So that's why you're seeing a lot of these mishandled snaps, low snaps, misreads by the offense and misreads by the defense, defensive blown coverages. That's going to come. That's going to be especially. Those are going to come especially the first few weeks because there's been so many. They've been so long out of game action, so long out of those practices that usually you're going to be able to have throughout the offseason.
The offseason has been incredibly challenging for everybody. The joke I mostly make whenever I talk to the coaches or the athletic directors before the game is, what a time to be an athletic director or a coach, trying to navigate everything.
And if you're an athletic director and coach, take a bow. Being able to have football this year and this time is an incredible achievement for every school that's having it right now. And it's incredible by the conference, incredible by the state level and local governments being able to allow schools to play with all the COVID cases and everything going on. And provide a safe environment for the players to come out and being able to, show what they have.
Bragg conducting the orchestra. On a 4th and 12, they send a man deep. Bragg is going to have plenty of time as he scrambles. Still scrambling. He's got some room to go. Can Bragg get the first down? He's going to get that and a little bit more.
And there's going to be a flag coming back at the back. It's going to be a block in the back or a holding. Let's see if we can get it. And is there another one that just came in? Oh, there's 2 flags. So we could have one after the play. But right here, watch Bragg extends the play, and he's going to have a first down. But right there, right here, a block on the back end as there comes the flag. The block at the back end is what they're going to call, but there was another flag, so that could be it could be a block in the back, which would be a 10-yard penalty, but if it comes after the play, then it will be a 10-yard spot off or 15 yards spot off, depending on the call. And then another 15 yards forward if it's on Sacred Heart for a personal foul, if that's what it is called.
We'll see if we can hear it from Brookshire.
And since it's, okay, well, after this.
So it's holding on the offense. And then after the play was over, a personal foul on the defense.
So what you're going to have here, now watch what's going to happen. Look, watch this official right here. They're marking off the 10-yard from the spot, 5 yards from the spot. And now
15
forward. From there. Since it's a dead ball penalty, what happens during the play, they go ahead and they mark that off because it's not offsetting. Offsetting penalties only happen during the play. So what they do is they mark the penalty that happened during the play, and then the personal after the play, after they mark that off, after the 5 or 10-yard penalty that happened during the play. So that's what you saw right there.
Ronnie Perkins is probably proud of you for knowing the rules that in depth. Sure, he's watching at home and seeing his officials working what's been a quiet game for the most part.
2 disciplined games, especially for a week 1 matchup.
Bragg hands it off. There goes Horde.
Looks like there was another little motion on that far side. And there's another 50. Oh.
There, Lancaster. Good. That's good instincts by the Lancaster teammates to bring back his man and prevent anything further from going on.
And we're going to have another one of those mark-offs I was just talking about.
And another shout-out by the PA guys. Thank you.
So let's see what – let's call. The initial contact was by the Sacred Heart defender, if I saw it correctly. But they might get the Lancaster for the retaliation. Let's see what happened. Let's see what happens. My bad.
Did you catch a replay?
I did not catch a replay because I was too busy trying to get a sip of my water. Dry throat. 2nd game in 2 days. So there's a legal formation.
And then after the play is over.
And then
after
dead
the play
ball.
was over, it's a personal foul. Yep, they call it on Sacred Heart.
And if I am not mistaken, 2 personal fouls is an ejection by the same player. Am I correct?
I know that was in the NFL. It depends on the severity of the personal foul. Because I don't think NFHS rules have it implemented yet. I know in the NFL it's 2 personal fouls and an ejection.
I was just wondering because I know TSAA has that rule.
They might have the same rule set in the NFHS this year. That's another question for Ronnie Perkins. I'm sure he's watching at home. I'm sure I'll get a text and get something about that. Bragg to the end zone, incomplete through the hands. It's through the hands of Reese Chloe's again, and you have to think.
And there's another penalty marker.
Cool. I think I jinxed it with saying it was a quiet game for the most part, and now the
quiet game. Then we have 7 penalties within a minute.
7 penalties within the last 60 seconds.
As here it is, we have a.
Yeah, again, the range on this thing just unfortunately not working for us tonight.
I don't know. I did not catch that signal. And it looks like it's only a 5-yard penalty, unless they call it holding, which is a spot foul.
And Lancaster's going to call its timeout.
Oh, and Coach Bragg's going to get everybody in. He's going to tell them to keep that's probably a good timeout there. Tell them to keep all their heads.
Just a reminder, the Kingdom.com Extreme Game of the Week is sponsored by Grace Point Healthcare, modern medicine the old-fashioned way. Grow, Live, Give, helping you fit all of the pieces together in your financial puzzle. Tennessee Heat Athletics, visit TennesseeHeatSports.com. And by Jets Pizza of Springfield, Fort Campbell, Clarksville, and Goodlettsville. Let's get Jets. So far a one-sided game, but it is very eerily similar score-wise to what we saw last night in Franklin. But plenty of time for Lancaster to take control of the game and plenty of time for Sacred Heart to get back in it. And a little bit early, but the Kentucky Kingdom and Hurricane Bay halftime report coming up. We'll give our thoughts on the first half and
big drive here. Huge drive here for both sides. If you're Sacred Heart, you want to force another 4th down or another stop, and you had that before that 15-yard penalty gave them the first down. It's just mental mistakes right now for both sides are costing them, and this keeping this drive for Lancaster alive. It is benefiting Lancaster right now, but if you're Sacred Heart, you're telling your guys, you're saying, hey guys, take a deep breath. We're still fine. No need to get over emotional. Just keep doing what we're doing. We've been able to stop in the past few drives.
So now after the 7-8 penalties in the span of about probably 90 seconds, 120 seconds, Bragg on a 1st and 15. He's got the end zone incomplete. Couldn't try to get the catch there. It's Cloise again. excuse me, is intended for Andrew Leverett. And that's been the story of the last few drives. Even with the penalties, it's been some incomplete passes.
And what you're seeing now is Deuce starting to get into rhythm with his receivers. There's just been a couple of drops, and that's as we said early season. You're going to have it. But if you're Coach Bragg again, you're really excited by how Bragg has developed throughout the game, how he's been able to adjust to what's been going on.
And here's Horde going on the left side. Horde cutting through as he normally does. Horde to the house. Another 6 for Lancaster.
And there it is. The whole game they've been able to pitch it to the outside. And they've been able to gain positive yards. But that's because of how much of a threat Deuce Bragg is at quarterback. He's able to spread that defense out so those pitches are and rushing lanes are available.
And we're still in the second quarter.
Still early in the second quarter.
2-point conversion attempt. The catch easily made. Left side. Looks like it was Jordan Horde who made the catch there. And another 2 points on the board. They'll make it 24-0. 7:34 left to go in the second. The Lancaster Knights are starting to get a more dominant lead. .34 left to go before halftime as Lancaster gets another score on the board, and going to be exciting to see how it goes. See if Sacred Heart can get their first score of the year. Been searching for it as it bounces all the way back and picked up by Austin Vall. Vall staying on his feet. Likely a junior or senior, but Vall all the way to about the 35-yard line. Impressive.
Let's see how much of that we can get. And here we go. Look, he picks it up deep in his zone, gives that first stiff arm, and then second, shakes that tackle, lowers his shoulder, knocks that defender down. He broke 4 tackles there. And he turned on the Jets there. That was a great return. Now you're at the 30-yard line, and the ball started inside the 5-yard line when he picked it up. Because that's a great kickoff. That's what you want to do. You want to stuff the ball inside the 5-yard line. That way it has to be picked up, and they have to return it. And when you're the back man, that's what you're looking for. Like, oh, is it going to bounce hard enough? And it didn't. It stopped just short of the goal line, and what a big pickup there.
So with decent field advantage on the 30-yard line, Keel got pressure, makes the defender trip up, and gets to the outside for a gain of about 4 or 5 yards.
And there he goes again. He was able to break that initial containment by Lancaster, and once he gets to the outside, he was able to gain 4 yards after that, out of that. And big drive here. If you're Lancaster, you want to stop him. You want to keep him to 0 in the whole first half. But if you're if you're South Sacred Heart, my bad. I was thinking South Haven again. If you're Sacred Heart, you want to be able to get a score right before half.
He's just reminiscing in the great game that we had last night.
Yes. We were treated to a good game last night. Great game. Couldn't have asked for a better game, honestly.
Second down and 6. Got a good one on our hands here. Keel. Quick pass right side, incomplete. Looks like a miscommunication.
And that's going to be a roughing the passer.
And
That's going to be a 15-yard penalty right there.
Incomplete. Flag on the play.
As Keel is bent over. That one was a really, really late hit. But
That's against Lancaster.
Keel's starting to feel it right now. Great pressure there by Lancaster. Just got there a little late. Just couldn't hold up there. Forces him to the ground, and that's a 15-yard penalty every time.
Another lucky break for Sacred Heart on penalties, and not quite in Lancaster's territory. And you can see a little bit of it there. I think that's a little bit of preventative officiating. Some of the Lancaster guys at the offensive line asking, what do I have to do to make sure it's not roughing?
Oh, yeah, definitely. And that's good officiating there, being able to communicate with the players, let them know what they're doing wrong. That way they do learn, because that's what high school's for. High school's for learning.
Here's a 1st and 10. Keel again incomplete.
Jay Kyle's pass intended for number 12.
Just a miscommunication there on routes.
That'll bring up 2nd and 10 for Sacred Heart.
As I was just a little bit right back over the right shoulder there of the intended receiver by Keel. And Lancaster's kept Keel in containment right here. They've done a great job of making sure that they're not going to let Keel beat them.
You wonder what the junior would be capable of if he were to have more time in the pocket, because he's got the arm. It's just a matter of having enough time, and that Lancaster defense just plows right through. See right there again. Keel airs it out.
Oh, that's
Flag
going to be a
thrown.
late hit. So what they're going to
Couldn't
call
make the catch.
is a late
Let's
hit.
get the replay.
Okay, here we go.
All over the field.
As you're going to have a holding call right here. Right there. Oh, that is similar to what we had in the Heat
Let's look
game.
at it again.
Here we go, right here. Just a little bit of helmet-to-helmet contact there. In high school, that's going to be called every time.
And there were flags back at the line of scrimmage, too. So the officials trying to sort this out.
As I think there was just a little bit of a
Ford is back
helmet-to-helmet
up.
contact. Oh, wait, or they're going to bring it up. It's going to be interesting. Oh, they picked that flag up.
One of those cases of preventative officiating. Let's see if we...
So holding on the offense.
Note to self, if we use the backup module, have it in their front pocket.
Oh, and then there is, yes, it is going to be a personal foul. So they are offsetting penalties. So we have offsetting penalties. So what they call it here is what we have in the Heat game. Not malicious contact at all. It's just a helmet-to-helmet contact at the high school level. They're trying to get that out of the game. And it was just unfortunate there, right? Really.
So now with the offsetting penalties, it's 2nd down. Keel looks deep on the right side, overthrew his man
that's
by
gonna be
just
holding.
a hair, but there is a flag.
And that is a great call there by the back judge. Now watch this replay. As here we go. Keels, and here comes the snap. And then the throw deep, and then now watch right there, right across the shoulder pads there. And he grabbed his collar, and that is, of course, pass interference. And that's a first down. So here we go.
Sacred Heart, again, another lucky break on penalties, but toss there gets him up to about the 35-yard line.
36, first and 10.
That's going to be a false start.
More flags as it's tossed deep on the right side. Is that?
And that's going to be another
complete?
pass
And
interference.
no flag.
For number 11 games.
And that is because the defender is not turning around to
Someone shouting, "Everyone gets a flag in stadium." Oh, the fan just Lancaster fans not enjoying any of those, but
and that's going to be another offsetting penalty.
Brookshire's got more to the story. Well, we know one thing: the mute switch works on this.
So we're going to have offsetting. So false illegal formation, and then pass interference on the defense. Those are definitely going to offset. And
Those penalties will offset.
as here we go, another first down opportunity.
So just a replay of first down. Keel again under pressure. Tries to scramble out, and he's going to take the ball for a gain of about 6 yards. Tell you, this the Lancaster crowd is always entertaining. And there's a flag.
There it is.
Someone shouts no flag, and then they throw a flag at the last second.
Let's see what happened.
Probably a sideline warning or something along
Keel
those lines.
gets to the outside there. Good run. As here we go. No, there's no flag. It's supposed to just fall out of the pocket
All right.
of the referee.
Oh man. And talking with some of these Lancaster fans, they are a very encouraging bunch. They are an encouraging bunch. And Keel again, deep toss, right side. How about?
He dropped it.
Man.
Oh, but
I keep getting overexcited on these calls. I got to be more careful on this.
Here we go. As we're going to see right here if the replay caught it as Keel is down. Here we go.
Keel a little bit shooken up, but
if he's going to walk off his line. Total legal hit. Now watch the pursuit by this this right end by Lancaster, right? They're perfect legal hit, thrown right as the ball is again, and then almost an acrobatic play right there by number, is that 11? No, that was 11. That was 11,
Gaines.
Justin Gaines. As Keel is trying to walk it off. And that's what Coach Blankenship didn't want. He didn't want injuries into this game.
didn't want injuries. Didn't want some of his guys who were injured. He did not want them to participate so that they could rest and get better going into their next games. And fortunately for Sacred Heart, unfortunately for Sacred Heart, they've got a long stretch of games. They have no bye weeks. As we get a timeout on the field, I believe Sacred Heart calling it there. Their first charge of the half, and we will step aside for the timeout. Sacred Heart called a timeout, and then a 3rd and 3 for them to face here. Keel again looks like he's okay. Toss to the left, incomplete.
Just a little short. And here you go. It's going to be a, this has almost got to be a, they almost have to go for it here and trying to get the momentum back. Or gain momentum, as I should have said, as Lancaster's had the momentum the whole game. As here we go, huge 4th down here, as Lancaster can really put their put the pedal to the metal here and maybe score another one before halftime and go up by 30.
Chance to go up by 30 with about 5 minutes. Keel, right side the ball, tipped.
As you're going to see here now, watch the hands by Lancaster's defensive lineman there, right here. As the pass was intended for Warlick again from Keel, but watch Keel roll to his right there, and then hands up. Perfect time to jump, and is that 8? I'm pretty sure that's 8. Number 9, Jacob Anderson on the right side there, as a great defensive play stopped that 4th down.
So now Lancaster, an air out again and batted down. Davin Teft batted down the pass.
And Sacred Heart's coaching staff is telling him to go up and try to intercept that one. As he cuts in front of the receiver there, number 8, Hargrove. He cuts in front of Hargrove there, and then just knocks it down to the ground. Better take no chances than have it go through his hands.
It's now on a 2nd and 10. And a run to the right. There's Horde again. He's dangerous when he gets the ball. Jordan Horde weaving through. Jordan Horde has got one man to beat, and he beats him. Touchdown, Knights.
And there it is. They haven't been able to stop Horde this game. And that's going to be 30-0. What a run. Horde has just been having himself a night so far.
No pun intended.
No pun intended there. But being able to, again, that all comes back to Deuce Bragg and his ability to spread the field and Lancaster's weapons to go deep and keep putting the pressure on those quarterbacks to make sure they take a few steps back for the line of scrimmage, and that's leaving running lanes open for Horde to be able to get to those outside, be able to cut back inside. As just Sacred Heart looks gassed right now.
Sacred Heart just going through the motions and flag in the backfield.
Yeah, delay of game. I wouldn't say they're going through the motions. I'd say that they only have, what is that? Let's look at their roster. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They have 14 players on their roster compared to the 25 of Lancaster, which is a big deal. They aren't able to sub as much. And almost every man on the sideline, and that's including players who weren't able to suit up tonight because of injuries.
And toss to the left for the 2-point conversion
attempt, what a
and
tackle.
Stopped short. Great movement there by Jake Keel, both a quarterback and a weapon on defense.
So here we go. We're gonna get that replay right there. As it looks like Clark was just gonna walk into the end zone there. A great play call there, but Keel, as he's in the top of the screen, waited for it, and then came up and made that play at about the 3-yard line to to stop that 2-point conversion. And that only keeps it at 30 points.
Spencer Tomzad, Zachary Lone from Smyrna Middle School. Debut game for Lancaster Christian for the season, but the second game of the season for Sacred Heart. They had their first game on the road last week against the Christian Community School Colts. Took a tough 40-0 loss there in White House.
And that's the first touchdown. No, second, my bad, never mind. Got ahead of myself. But Sacred Heart has had drives. Well, you got to keep your head up for your Sacred Heart. You've had drives where you've been able to stop Deuce Bragg. It's just the versatility of Lancaster's offense has been on display tonight. Deuce being able to spread you out with his passing game, and then Horde just being able to just beat guys off the edge.
And booted deep to the right side, and another return attempted by Vol.
Oh.
And still powering through to the 30-yard line.
Now let's see another replay there on the kickoff by Warlick. Not Warlick,
Vol with the
Vol,
carry.
my bad. But now watch this. Great to be able to backtrack and get that one, and then just lowers his shoulder and runs over the Lancaster defender, brings it back out to the 30-yard line.
Vol at least making some decent plays for Sacred Heart on the kickoff returns. And we'll see if the Knights can get their first score of the season in the first half. They got about 3.5 minutes to work with. And off, and Vol with the flag on the far side.
That came late, so I am guessing that's going to be a holding.
Either holding or something similar to that regard.
Yeah.
Brookshire and company discussing it over. Bragg's going to decline it.
So that is going to be a holding call. So you decline it there because of the loss of the loss on the play. So it's now 2nd and 12. Oh no, 2nd and 10. He got right back to the line of scrimmage there. As here we go. So it's going to be 2nd and 10.
So Bragg opts to decline the penalty. Now 2nd and 10. Keel takes the handoff. Deep toss on the right side.
Just a little overthrown right there.
A little overthrown.
Is there going to be?
incomplete.
There's another
There's
flag.
a flag.
Deep intended for number 11, Justin Gaines.
They're going to move this up even more.
Flag on the play.
As Lancaster's coaches want that to be a little ruled deemed uncatchable.
And
We'll call pass interference against Lancaster.
Yep. Lancaster called for the penalty.
As another first down via penalty.
Sacred Heart will get a first down from the 45-yard
Well,
line.
it is the first game of the season. The important factor here. First game of the season, they have time to work all of these kinks out and
if you're
fix some
Sacred Heart,
mistakes.
that's been your best offense so far. Have Keel drop back and then roll to his right and then just launch it deep to Gaines, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Justin Gaines.
Hey, jump the route right here, Albert. Underneath.
1st and 10 after the penalty, toss to the left side, incomplete. Through the hands of Brody Wilson.
Incomplete. Already 2nd
And that's what they've been looking for all game. They've been trying to get that underneath route to the far sideline and get. As I think that was towards Brody Wilson right there. Yeah, towards Brody Wilson. And they're just trying to go and get Brody Wilson into space and see what he can do. Try and see if he makes a play.
Second down, left side, intercepted. Oh, Clark couldn't get it, but it is fumbled. It's still alive because he made the catch. And Lancaster Christian, touchdown. Get the replay on that, and let's see what we can do.
Here we go. Let's see. Let's see this replay.
Lancaster Christian.
Now watch. They ran that same play the time before. And now watch the anticipation
1, 2,
there.
3.
That's a catch. That's a catch.
It looked like it was loose when he was trying to secure it.
Here we go. Look at that one more time.
Give it one more
But
time.
Albert Clark there read that to perfection. Caught it. Oh,
it's close. It's close.
That looks like an incomplete pass.
It's close.
If you were to ask me, but still, I mean, what a great play of reading that right there.
You need slow-mo on that to get the official word on it, but it's close on there. Regardless, Clark making a good play. And now another 2-point conversion attempt, and again in Tennessee, the mercy rule is 35-point or more lead. Rush up the middle, Lane Spurlock for the 2-point conversion. 38-0. Minute 50. Minute 50 left to go until halftime. Coming up on the Kentucky Kingdom and Hurricane Bay halftime report, we'll analyze what we've seen from the first half and preview the second half of the game. No other games to report on for scoring updates, but highlights and at least analysis from us two in the booth. That's coming up on the halftime report.
But if you're Lancaster, that's one of your freshmen making that play. The play before, Clark saw that same play, and he was anticipating that. He anticipated that one to perfection. Let's see that one more time. See right here, he recognizes the play and then just runs in front of Brody Wilson there, and then fumbles in, then picked up by number 8, Devin Hargrove, then walked into the end zone for a touchdown there. $38 to nothing.
It's one of those games where good coaching keeps your Sacred Heart guys motivated, and we'll see how that carries over into the second half as it goes to the back of the end zone.
That's going to be a touchback.
Go to the 20-yard line.
And now if you're Sacred Heart, you're just trying to play for pride. See how many points you can put up. Wouldn't be surprised if you don't see Deuce Bragg out there the rest of the game, or maybe just a very few limited drives in the second half. Try and keep him healthy. But if you're Sacred Heart, at this point, this is all about how much heart you have. You don't, like we said multiple times, when you go down big, it's all up to your guys and your leadership on your team to say, hey, guys, let's just keep going. Let's see what can happen. As you saw last night, game's never over until it's over.
See if Sacred Heart still waiting to see their first touchdown of the year. Maybe that comes tonight.
Hey, watch this false start on the receiver, please. He punches and goes right before the snap.
On a 1st and 10.
There he went again. Cut him off.
Toss left side, incomplete. Through one hand of Justin Gaines.
Yeah, just right behind Gaines there. As they've been trying to get Gaines the ball all game. And that's been what's been working for them. they've been able to get the gains back, and they've been able to draw that pass interference more time than not because he's gained his speed and Kill being able to get the ball to him. But this Lancaster team is solid on both sides of the ball, as you've noticed. Their offense has quick strike ability, and their defense has been able to basically take Sacred Heart out of their rhythm from the get-go.
After this game, they've got a tough 3-game stretch ahead. 2 out of 4 of the games they have from now until their bye week, 2 of those are divisional games. It's going to be interesting to see. Second down.
There's a fumble.
Fumble in the backfield. See if we can find it. And it's rolled with a Lancaster recovery.
Recovered by Lancaster Christian.
Yeah, and
First down.
that's just, let's see if we can get any of that. There was just a little bit of communication there by Kill and the running back. Let's see, right. No, we at the end of it. But there's a little bit of miscommunication there. Timing's going to end up coming back for Sacred Heart, especially with all the injuries they've had. They really haven't been able to play a full game with their whole roster.
Fumble was recovered by number 3, Jordan Ford.
And looks like another timeout called. Timeout called by Sacred Heart. Minute 27 as we're inching closer. 38-0 score right now. And the question is, with Lancaster at the moment and the competitive nature on both sides of the ball, you wonder how accurate James is going to be with his prediction of them going undefeated.
From what I've seen tonight, this is probably one of the most complete teams we've seen. This is the way that Lancaster has that quick strike ability. They're able to move the ball up and down the field. And then their defense has been able to keep Sacred Heart off their rhythm the whole game. They came out and they've just shown what they were able to do. What Deuce Bragg is capable of, he's been able to show. And he hasn't really been on tonight. He really hasn't. He's thrown a couple of balls too far, a little bit out of the receiver's reach. But that's just early season things. That's going to be corrected by mid-season.
And Lancaster's only got 7 games on the schedule. We were talking with Coach Bragg pregame, and he had to drop several games, including against Evangel Christian, which would have been an amazing matchup to see between Bragg and company. Touchdown!
As here we go. We're going to see this again.
Devin Hargrove with the catch on the edge.
And now it's starting to look like Bragg is starting to gain the get rhythm with his receivers. Now watch this.
I seriously hope I got the edge on that.
Here we go. Hargrove cuts back out, then in, and then we did not get the edge, but he did get his foot down. That wasn't going to be that was a complete pass, but it was perfectly thrown in that back corner of that end zone, as we now have 44 in the first.
44 at 14 left. And again, the mercy rule in Tennessee, 35 points or more lead, and the clock runs in the second half. I believe that both coaches agree to it. And up the middle,
And
2-point conversion, good by Horde. 46-0.
as Lancaster, so they go to Riverside next week.
Yeah, it was mentioning on their schedule they've got their work cut out for them because this is one of 2 home games they have in a 4-week stretch. They travel to Riverside, they travel to Christian Community, and then they host Franklin Classical. So the next 4 weeks, 2 of those games are in division, which are crucial. But the more important thing, it's going to be one of the tough stretches to try and. All they have to do is win 2 games, and they are immediately in Division 1. However, those 2 games could be barn burners.
Well, I mean, as we've mentioned multiple times, the South is loaded this year.
Yep.
As we saw last night, Franklin Christian, they're a very solid team, and like South Haven, James had them going undefeated. So I mean, South Haven's a great team, has great talent as well, and seeing Franklin Christian be able to come back in that second half shows the heart and shows how good and how talented that roster is. So it's going to be a good game when Franklin Christian plays Lancaster.
Shout out to, I won't name him, but shout out to the guy in FCA scaffolding when we were packing up. He mentioned, I listened to your show yesterday, radio show. You guys might want to be more nice. James might want to be more nice to Franklin Christian next week. And I had to, of course, explain that James does all of his predictions preseason as kickoff return for a few yards by Vol. But I had to, of course, explain to him that at least you do your predictions weekly. James does his preseason. Well, kind of preseason because he had to predict the Heat game.
He predicted the Heat game
like
on
the week of.
But I mean,
the rest of them he's predicted preseason from what he's seen.
Yes. And James doesn't vary for him. So, I mean.
He doesn't change them. The only time he makes bye-week predictions in the playoffs and if teams pick up games. But more importantly, his schedule, at least he only lost 10 games. He only got 10 games wrong last year. Now, right now he's at, I believe, 2 or 3. With,
I think he's at 3 because he lost 2 last night.
Yeah, he's at 3.
If the web game counts.
Yeah, I believe it does. I believe it does because he predicted it. Even though it's 11-man, everything.
I think they might just use that for tiebreaker rules.
Yeah. Well, Sacred Heart is just going to go to the locker room, it looks like, and knee it down for 2 plays. And that's just going to get us. That's just going to get us to halftime much quicker.
Folks, don't forget that at the second half, we have the junior cheerleaders from Lancaster.
And if you're Sacred Heart, I mean, you're gassed right now, but you did some good things. If you're Coach Blankenship, you're playing one of the better teams in the conference. Hands down, one of the better teams in the conference. But you did great things at points in the first half. There was those 3 possessions where they kept Deuce Bragg, and then they kept Jordan Horde under wraps. You know, like 3 and out, 4 and out. No, not 3. Oh, 3 and out, 3 and out, and then a couple of first downs, and then they forced the punt. But they've done good things. You got to keep your head up and got to play through the whole game. Got to play hard for the second half.
46-0 Lancaster goes out with a bang in prime time, and they have 24 more minutes to play. Kentucky Kingdom Hurricane Bay halftime report coming up in about 30 seconds. You're watching thekingdom.com Extreme Game of the Week. Welcome, everybody, to the Kentucky Kingdom and Hurricane Bay halftime report. I'm Spencer Thompson. That's Zachary Lone, and this is the only time you're going to see me wearing casual on a broadcast because we didn't even know we were officially going to be here again.
And me in a polo.
Right, and again,
Without a tie.
Special thanks to the Lancaster Christian Academy Athletic Department and Joey O'Day for making it happen where we originally thought we weren't going to be in the press box, and now we are. But score right now, very lopsided, 46-0. More points than Christian Community scored on Sacred Heart last week, but in terms of Sacred Heart, they've had some good moments. They've had some great plays that they've been able to do. It's just the mistakes that have been really getting them.
Yeah, they really haven't been able to move the ball in this Lancaster defense. That just shows how good this Lancaster defense is. But let me take a second. Sacred Heart's defense has done really well this game. Besides those big plays, like we said multiple times, those big plays are killing them. They do a lot of the plays where they're stopping them short, but then it gets third down, and then there goes the long play. So what you got to do is you got to play for the whole 4 downs on defense, because those plays have been what's led to the 46 points. And then there were some penalties from the 9-10 mark to about the 4-minute mark of the second quarter that was just like they were kind of unnecessary.
Right. And in terms of Lancaster, I mean, is there an Achilles heel for Deuce Bragg at this point? Is there anything that can get through that Lancaster defense?
Not that I've seen so far.
They've been almost perfect at this point.
And Deuce was a little off in the first couple of minutes, and then all of a sudden the 4th, 5th drive came, and then timing got down, and everything advertised. Everything's advertised.
Once he started getting into his rhythm, he was good. But Well, that's your Kentucky Kingdom and Hurricane Bay halftime report. We will see you in about looks like about 12 and a half minutes until the halftime timer goes off. So we'll be back for the second half. You're watching the Kingdom.com Extreme Game of the Week.
to
Number 77, Austin Fox.
Well, you guys heard the countdown on broadcast, but welcome to the start of the third quarter. What's a one-sided game. The clock has begun to run already with the mercy rule, and we're looking forward to seeing what these guys could do in the second half. Spencer Thompson had Zachary Lone for the night, but our producer James Shannon did a watch party on our Instagram Live.
as we're going to have a holding.
Flags in the backfield. Again, Derek Brookshire and company
By a host of Lancaster Christian Knights.
officiating the game, and we'll get a new lapel module hopefully by next week. Again, live from Smyrna Middle School, and from just the environment as I look out on the press box, looking at the environment and just the atmosphere, it's something that we could have only dreamed of back in May.
Oh, definitely. Being able to get 10 people somewhere back in May was something. But like I said multiple times, if you're a head coach, if you're an athletic director, if you're a headmaster, if you're a principal, if you're listening from other schools or whatever, guys, thank y'all so much for this. This is incredible. Something that really we could have only dreamed of back then.
And not just for us on that dream, but for all the kids on the field as well. They get to play their senior season with several of the guys don't even get to. Pass deflected.
And there we go again, Jacob Anderson. And this is what I like about what Lancaster's done. They know they have a running quarterback and kill. So what they're doing is they're taking those two edges, the two defensive ends, and building basically like a wall so where he can't get to that outside. And they're bottling them up, which is what's been working so far for him, which is why Keels had such a tough game. It's a little quiet at the moment.
Not much at the moment to get excited about it in between plays, but
That's true.
they got some time for sure. So on a second down for Sacred Heart, a toss to the left side, and one of the first catches of the night for Sacred Heart. A great reception by Brody Wilson. Wilson with the reception for about 2-3 yards, and that moves it up for actually about almost halfway, but 2nd and 4.
As here we go. Yeah, it's 3rd and 4. That's not your fault. That was sideline.
Yeah, they had it at first down when I looked at it.
No, you're good. You're completely good.
We look ahead to the schedules for both of these teams. You look first at Sacred Heart. They do not have a bye week, so they have a tough stretch. Next Saturday at the Heat. Following that at Providence, hosting Lighthouse, at South Haven, hosting Bowling Green, at Ezel. As fumble recovery, the Lancaster Knights recover it.
And see, this is with the no bye week. This is where if you're Sacred Heart, this is where this is the year you want to bye week. You're low on numbers. You have 14 players who are playing for you, and it's actually about 12, 11 with all the injuries they had last week coming in this week. Nope. So we did have a false start. I thought there was movement on the line. Kind of like one of those, kind of like that Mike moment in the NFL where false start everyone but the center.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure we had one of those right there. But so that's not a false start. That's technically a snap infraction.
Yeah, they ruled it there. But Sacred Heart, as I said, at Ezel the second to last week of the season. Then they host Freedom. So Sacred Heart, they've got a long stretch. As deep toss on the right side, incomplete. Through the hands of Gaines.
And that's been their offense. This is what's working for him. Have Kill drop back, throw it deep to Gaines, and have Gaines either draw a pass interference, and have Gaines draw pass interference. And that's what's been working. But what Clark did good there is he located the ball, and made a play on the ball, which wasn't what was happening in the first half. They were going straight for the man, and that's where you're going to get your penalties.
So now a 4th down and 11. And Sacred Heart, at this point, I mean, they could punt it away, but what do they got to lose?
I think they are going to punt it away.
It looks like they'll just punt it deep, I guess. And they do punt it away, but it's blocked And falling on. So first and goal for Lancaster.
And Deuce Bragg's trotting back out there. As we have his stats, he went 5 of 18 in the first half with 142 yards and 2 touchdowns. But see, a lot of it was just miscommunication. About mid-year, you can see midway through the season, you see about 11 and 12 of 18. It was just the throws. He had good mechanics except for maybe two or three of them. Those 2 back-to-back drives where he wasn't getting his shoulders in the right position to throw it. But it's just a little bit miscommunication here, miscommunication there. Receiver reads an in route, and Bragg reads an out route. Just stuff like that. But the main guy is Horde, who's got 9 carries for 119 yards and 3 touchdowns, which is good for 22 yards per carry.
As he gets a chance to get another touchdown, here's Bragg, tosses it to the corner of the end zone, incomplete.
And that's a great throw there because he threw to where only his receiver could catch it. He didn't really give Gaines a chance to get under there and get under it and intercept that one. Something else I mentioned is Hargrove. He has 2 receptions for 112 yards and a touchdown. Let's see what that is. That's 112. 56 yards per reception. So that's pretty good.
Yep. Now about 6 minutes and below winding down left here as Bragg looks for his options across the middle. It's
great
incomplete.
play there by Gaines. That was a great play there by Gaines because he got on the inside of the receiver there and then reached out with his length and was able to bat that ball down.
You look at Lancaster Christian schedule as well. We mentioned it. They got a 4-game stretch. Of course, they have Sacred Heart here at home. They travel to Riverside, tough divisional game. They travel to Christian Community, that rivalry. And then they host Classical bye week. Then they travel to Franklin Christian. They host Providence. And then they travel to Ezel Harding as the snap is high. And Bragg brought down for a big sack. How about Vol? Both a master on kickoff returns and a master in getting to Bragg.
Vol has had some of the most entertaining kickoff returns I've seen in a while. Just his ability to lower his shoulder and his ability. He's got a mean stiff arm. That one stiff arm he threw on that one Lancaster defender in the first half, that was brutal. Are we having a field goal? No, we are not. Oh, yes, we are.
A field goal attempt.
Lancaster will attempt a field goal.
And set to kick it is Ryan Arrington, the sophomore.
Ryan Arrington set to kick.
And let's get the perfect angle for you here. That snap, and is that good? It's through the uprights. Perfect. 49-0. And now you know what else does Lancaster not have at this point.
What you can't see is the reaction that Lancaster players have right there for that kick. As soon as the kick goes in, you saw the whole sideline erupt. Players rushing to the kicker there. What a great kick! Great snap. Lowered head down, foot through the ball. Was a two-step. Because usually when you get your 3-step, you get more power, but it causes more time, which usually is where you find your blocked kicks at. Don't look now. We only have 3 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the third quarter.
And it's still winding down.
Make that 3:05.
You talk about a good motivational game for Lancaster to have. They've only got 3 home games this year. Their next one in 3 weeks, hosting Classical. And primetime game against Providence Christian on the second to last week of the season.
And that's going to be a good one. That's going to be a really good one. And just, it's always good to play at home, especially to open up. If I'm not mistaken, this is Lancaster's first game, correct?
Yep.
Especially to open up your season, get your momentum going, be able to make your mistakes. Because it's better, when you're a high school athlete, I can speak from experience, it's better to get your oh, there he goes again.
There goes Vol again, staying on his feet. Is Vol going to get through? How about Vol to stay on his feet? And he's got one man to beat. Vol staying up and to the 5.
He was bound to break one sooner or later. What a great kickoff returner Sacred Heart has back there. That's the ball. With the ball. Here we go, right here. Breaks 2 tackles. Shakes off that tackle at midfield, and then isn't able to shake off and carries. No, it carries. Who is that? Eric. Is that Eric Macias? Macias? It's Eric Macias or Macias right there for about 15 more yards.
Well, best field advantage for Sacred Heart this game. They're on a 1st and goal on the 5-yard line. We potentially see Sacred Heart's first score of the year.
And this is a good spot to have it. Do you give it to Vol? He got you down there.
You might give it to Vol or see if you could pass it with Jay Keel, but probably give it to Vol.
I'd say you almost have to give it to Vol.
That defense will probably be expecting it, though.
Vol's on. He is lined up in that tight end position. Maybe look for him to run the end zone and stop. Nope.
Keel loses the football, and Lancaster recovers it. So what looked like a really golden opportunity for Sacred Heart is a recovery, and now he's limping. Brett Marjama, the senior, limping after the fumble recovery.
If I'm not, is that who made the kick as well, or is that who's either was the holder or the kicker, but yeah, it was just a low snap, low outside. Keel couldn't get down to it. Just unfortunate there for Sacred Heart. But like I was saying before we had the 2 very energetic plays right there, it's better to get your mistakes out at home because you have that home crowd energizing you, and you're not as nervous at home. Because when you go on the road for your first game, you kind of feel the crowd on top of you. You feel as we get to the end of the 3rd quarter here.
That's going to do it. 12 minutes and winding down here. 49-0 Lancaster leading over Sacred Heart. The Kingdom.com Extreme Game of the Week is sponsored by Grace Point Healthcare, modern medicine the old-fashioned way. Grow, Live, Give, helping you fit all of the pieces together in your financial puzzle. Tennessee Heat Athletics. Visit TennesseeHeatSports.com. And by Jets Pizza of Springfield, Fort Campbell, Clarksville, and Goodlettsville. Let's get Jets.
Go.
Coach Jeremy Blankenship in his first season in 8-man football. Of course, started out with a clean slate on the season, and now, unfortunately, 0-2 to start out the year for Sacred Heart. But the important thing is that he's faced some powerful teams in those games, so he's got plenty of time to make adjustments as we start the 4th quarter with a running clock.
Yeah, like you said, it's not like they're playing bad teams. They're playing 2 of the top teams in the conference, honestly.
Some of the top teams in there.
And off number 1, Hoodie Birds, nowhere to go.
And we look at one of the coaches who has a more positive record going into 2020, Coach Jason Bragg, who was 9-2 last year. Of course, made it to the semifinal. Both years that they've been in 8-man football, made it to the semis. In 2018, took the loss to Christian Community and then faced off against Christian Community again. Toss on the left side, flag thrown. As
that may be a holding, or that could be something bigger.
As Albert Clark gets the carry, but we'll see what they call it.
maybe a face mask potentially? Or it's either, I think that's more than just a holding call. Oh, no. Guys, that is on hands to the face.
It's illegal hands to the face on the defense, so they move it up. I believe they move it to the end of the run. Yep.
It's to the end of the run, and then it's because it's a defensive penalty. The only defensive penalty that you can't tack on in the end is an offsides. We're getting extra deuce tonight.
As Deuce hands
Oh,
it off and
there's gonna
brought
be a
down in
face
the backfield.
mask,
There is
yeah.
a flag there. It was Jamison Warlick on the tackle there, but probably another penalty.
He got his hands a little bit too high there. It's gonna be a holding, and it's gonna be it's gonna be the 15-yard penalty. Wait, they're gonna talk about that. Here, let's see. Too late on that one. I apologize. I wonder if he grabbed it or he just put his hand on it. If that's what they're talking about.
See what Brookshire says.
Yes.
Face mask. Yep. Sacred Art.
This guy's hand's a little bit too high there.
Now bring up another Green Realty. First down.
First and about 3.
A lot closer to the end zone. A lot closer chance for Bragg to just toss one over. 8:45. Bragg scrambles, got pressure.
Here,
He'll get the first down, though.
Let's see if we can get that replay right there. Okay, here we go. Right there. Watch Jay Warlick right up the middle here.
For a Green Realty first down.
Right there. Goes right through the center and forces Deuce. But good job by Deuce to step up in the pocket and then gain that first down.
Here's Deuce again. Left side, rush by Albert Clark. The freshman has really stepped up tonight.
Oh, that's going to be a
and
15-yard penalty.
Yep, flag tacked on at the end.
Warlick tried to stop himself. He just wasn't able to right there. Wasn't anything malicious. It was just he tried to slow down, slipped on the wet field, and then just hit him.
Flag is waved off.
Okay, so they are saying that he did slip.
Okay.
We aren't keeping the end. It did look like he slipped on the wet grass. They gave him the benefit of the doubt there. And it looks like Sacred Heart has subbed in their replacement for Warlick right there.
Handoff again and brought down in the backfield. It's a tackle made by, looks like it was Edgar Nava.
What a great play there by Nava. He was able to beat his blocker, but while he was still engaged with his blocker, reached out with his left hand, was able to make the tackle.
Line number 90, Edgar Nava.
So we're approaching about the midway point of the fourth.
Clock continued winding down as Bragg goes right side, underthrown, and pass intended for Arrington.
Here, let's see what let's see what happened here. I wasn't able to see it. Was the ball tipped to the line of scrimmage?
Didn't look like it was tipped, but
Here we go. Because watch the reaction by the receiver at the bottom of the screen. Right. No, it wasn't tipped. It's just he looks like he loses it in the lighting. He lost that one in the lighting.
now a 4th down and 12. So they'll just, Lancaster offense will just punt it away as time winding down here in Smyrna.
That's actually a great punt. That checks up.
And they'll stop it at about the 2.
That might be inside the 1, actually. What a punt. Don't usually get punt replays, but let's see that again. Watch the punt coverage. See, we got the end of it, and right there. Now watch this coverage. Waits. Yes, what great punt coverage. What a great punt there. And that's another thing Lancaster has. Great special teams unit. A great special team unit. A blocked punt already this game. A couple of, in their kickoffs, the kickoffs are stopping at about the 2-yard line. And that's really, really good because, like we said multiple times, if the ball rolls in back of the end zone, it's a touchback. It rolls into the end zone. Oh, it's a touchback. So if it's stopping about the 1-2 yard line, you may catch a couple of teams.
One of the benefits that several schools in the conference have is they have an eye in the sky, and Lancaster, of course, you can hear him a little bit on our headsets here, but he's very passionate about the guys being successful, and the eye in the sky and having the headset on, they're able to help. They're able to help the players, especially shouting at them during the during that punt there, as Keel airs it out to the right side and incomplete.
I almost caught that.
Unfortunately, that's been the story of the night for Gaines. Just hasn't been able to get the completions there. But
as you said, the eye in the sky, very passionate.
Yeah. And not just passionate, but on that punt return specifically yelling at them to, stop it there to give them the position. And once it transmits from him down to the coach sideline, most of the time they'll relay it to the players, and it's really beneficial for them. Wonder how long it's going to be before players at the high school level can have that headset in their helmets.
It's going to be a long time.
Yeah, probably a few years.
It's not anything about safety. It's about money.
Right.
In high schools, especially your high schools don't have that type of money to spend on.
Incomplete.
Because what you have in the NFL, in most colleges, is you have way more donors to your universities, or the NFL, you only have to focus on football. How can we develop the NFL into a brand? So the NFL is a brand, and they do a really good job of marketing their brand. But what high school doesn't have, so colleges also have to fund their other programs, but it's not as much as high schools do. So for instance, a high school, especially around here in Tennessee, in your middle Tennessee area, most people are very passionate about football. So what you have is you have a lot of your money and a lot of your income from sports coming from your high school football teams. So a large portion of that does go to the high school teams, but some of it goes to keep other programs afloat. For instance, for NCAA, your only 2 money-making sports. We'll talk after this.
Keel toss it incomplete.
Pass intended for number 12, Grant Dillon.
So in the NCAA, what you have is you have basketball and football being able to cover every other sport. Well, high school is big around here too, but football is your big revenue and your big money maker. So of course you're going to make a lot of the portion, like I've already said, goes to the football program. So what you do there is you try and you work on the field. You try and get equipment. For instance, I don't know if you can see it, if you've seen it yet down there, Lancaster has a kicking net down here to try and help your guys and also to help the facilities around you. And that's another thing. A lot of your college facilities have been around a long time, and we'll keep it.
It's timeout called, I believe, by Sacred Heart with 1:40 left. Just trying to think it over on 4th down. But coming up on the post-game report, we'll hopefully get an interview with Coach Bragg. What they told us is that after the post-game meeting, it's a matter of if we can catch them, because after the meeting they're supposed to have both teams go right to the locker room. But hopefully I'll be able to get Coach Bragg for a post-game interview. Might just be could possibly be one of those situations like last night where Coach Johnson was just focused on talking with his guys and getting them prepared. So
yeah, and that's totally fine.
Yep.
But your short answer to your question is no. Not anytime soon.
Not anytime soon because of the funding. Who knows?
Funding.
I mean, I can think of a few schools that do have some donors that might be able to put up the money for it. But
once that happens, it's an unfair competitive advantage to them.
And it's the
And-
question of if the conference feels that it's okay to have those.
Yes.
Well, actually, that'd be an interesting question for Ronnie Perkins, even if those earpieces in the helmets are legal. I'm wondering if those are.
Well, they're built into the helmets.
Right, and that's the question of if those are.
So
you know,
I was
legal helmets.
reading an article, and I was watching a video today about how, I forgot who it was. It was a 49ers quarterback the year that Montana won the Super Bowl, or he had laryngitis and he couldn't speak. So they and they played in Shea Stadium, and there's, of course, in Shea Stadium they had all the airplanes going over and everything.
Yep.
So they actually put speakers on the back of his shoulder pad so he could get it out to everyone.
Looked like that was legal.
That's good.
And
Oh.
block punt.
Does he get
Safety.
Punt was blocked. Recovered by
Make that 51-0, and that'll probably get us to the end of the game. Again, we're going to get down to hopefully interview Coach Bragg post-game. They might get a kickoff here, but more than likely they'll just let it run out. But Zachary's going to take over. I'm going to head down to the field to prepare for the post-game, and we'll go up there, and we'll hopefully get an interview with Coach Bragg. Go ahead, Zach.
It looks like we'll have about one more play as lining up to kick it away, and this play will take us to the end of the game. If you're Lancaster, you're excited about how this game went because of how your team came out. They showed up to play. They came out from the beginning and they played extremely well, hard fought, both on both their offense and their defense. And then when they did hit that wall in the second quarter, beginning of the second quarter, they weren't able to. They're able to push through it, and that's what you want to see. You want to see how your team responds to adversity. Like we said, I've said multiple times throughout the past few games. The first game, see how your team responds to adversity and how your key players, for instance, here comes the punt. And the return there by Lancaster. So he gets to the outside and taken down by Keel. What a great defensive play by Keel, as that was Reese Close on the return, and that will take us to the end of the game. As Spencer is onto the field, and let's see if he can get coach.
Thank you for everything. You'll have a wonderful night. Please drive safe.
Again, Lancaster with a win, 51-0, and Sacred Heart just looks exhausted as they have their small roster, and they played their hearts out. Spencer is talking to Coach O'Day down there, who was very kind enough to let us get into the broadcasting booth tonight. We originally thought we weren't able to, but through their generosity, we were able to broadcast this game. And here we go. The handshakes, the 2020 handshakes going through the lines. Social distancing a priority, of course, for the spread. If you don't want COVID to spread through these post-game meetings, limit the amount of contact they have with each other. And it does look like Spencer is going to get the interview. As they're going to do their post-game prayer with both teams at a distance. But this Lancaster team's special. They have a great offense led by Deuce Bragg and Horde, and the two long plays to Hargrove. Hargrove was able to get open on those and be able to just race down the sideline. No, I was able to catch him. Once he gets in open field, once Lancaster gets in open field, they have the speed to get past almost anyone. So it's going to be interesting to see as this season goes on what's going to happen. As James called for Lancaster to go undefeated. And to go undefeated, you got to win your first one. So 1-0. As we'll be back with Spencer with the post. Oh, actually, I think we just got it. I'm going to go ahead and mute myself and maybe not. As Coach Brad's going to talk to his team down there.
You hear me, Zach? All right.
As you heard Spencer right
Get the
there.
camera angle.
And yeah,
with
okay,
Coach,
and here we
we'll
go.
go
We're
live in
gonna.
a sec.
I'm going to go ahead and mute myself.
What am I supposed to look at? Camera up there. He's gonna get an angle and everything. So. Ready whenever you are, Zach. We live? All right. Welcome everybody to the post-game show. The final score on the scoreboard there, 51-0. Fortunate to be on the field here with Coach Jason Bragg, the victorious head coach. Congratulations on the win, and of course, it's not always a good thing to see a shutout from the other team. But what are some of the mistakes you believe you could correct with your guys coming from this first game?
I believe we played sloppy in the first quarter and a half. We didn't play our kind of football. A lot of penalties. Maybe it's first game jitters, but we've got to clean it up and be more disciplined.
And you've got a tough road game next week. Your first in-division game, counting for the playoffs against Riverside Christian. What are you going to tell your guys going on the road to Fayetteville?
Yeah, we're just going to go back to work. They had a big game Friday night, and we'll get a chance to look at some video and see. We always enjoy going down there and playing Coach Creasy and those guys. Such a good team, good program. Well,
Coach, congratulations on the win. You guys are undefeated for the season at the moment.
Yeah,
hopefully we'll see you 2-0.
Right.
Best of luck to you, Coach.
Thank you.
Well, Zachary, that's going to about wrap it up. But question to you is, what are you looking forward to in Extreme Radio? Some of the big highlights you're going to be looking at to analyze.
Especially tomorrow, as actually, can we hear me? Am I on? I am not hearing myself, but I think we should be on. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep going. What I'm looking forward to tomorrow is I'm gonna be talking about how Deuce was able to lead that offense up and down the field, how he was able, and how that defense was what was really, really key tonight. Being able to keep Sacred Heart under wraps, and how they were able to go ahead. Their special teams unit. They had a solid team all around. This is a solid team win. As you said, they were sloppy a little in the second quarter. If that's the definition of sloppy, then Lancaster has a really, really good chance at going pretty far this postseason. As I can't hear myself. Hello? Yeah, can't hear myself. Go ahead and talk. You're good.
Well, just got back off the field, and that's going to wrap it up here from Smyrna, Tennessee, 51-0. That's going to wrap it up here for Zachary Lone, our producer James Shandon back in his home. All the hardworking men and women that make 8-Man Extreme so successful. I'm Spencer Tomset. We'll see you guys for Extreme Radio tomorrow at 4 p.m. Good night, everybody.